I have been a clean-cut, good-looking guy since I was a kid. My sister was always terrified I would get targeted by sketchy girls. So before heading abroad, she packed my bags and dumped me at the house of her biggest business rival. Mo Xiang, help me watch my little brother. I have some business and need to head overseas for a bit. You want me to babysit your brother? Are you sure? Of course. We might be bitter rivals now, but we still grew up together. Just keep a close eye on him. I won't short you a single cent. You can keep your money. Just leave Chen with me. This girl agreed way too fast, and she did not even want the cash. Something feels completely off, but I do not have a choice. I have to travel right now, and I am terrified some sketchy girls will prey on Chen. After thinking it over, leaving him with Mo Xiang is the safest bet. Her private life is squeaky clean. There has never been a single guy around her. She definitely will not have any improper thoughts about Chen. I have to warn you first. My brother is a really good boy, so you are not allowed to bully him. Our family grudges have nothing to do with the kid. You are such a nag. Fine, I won't waste my breath either. As long as you agree, Chen, you will stay with her for the next 2 months. Then she turned and ordered her bodyguards to move my luggage. I stood to the side, absolutely furious. This was completely unfair. Why does she have to dump me with some random woman? Mo Xiang stood nearby, her lips curling into a secret smile. To think the guy I've been dreaming about day and night just delivered himself right to my doorstep. Su Yu watched as the bodyguards finished moving my bags, then turned her gaze to Mo Xiang. I just transferred 10 million to your account. Go check it. Oh right, it is summer break now. Keep a very close eye on him. People outside are constantly trying to ask him out. You have to help me block anyone with bad intentions. I trust you. You are not like those superficial people who only care about looks. You definitely won't take advantage of my brother. Yeah, right. What woman doesn't crave the guy she actually likes? This fate was delivered right to my door, and I am not letting it slip away. Su Yu checked her watch, her voice suddenly growing urgent. My flight is at 12, and I am running out of time. You have to take good care of him. Little brother, I am leaving. Do not go running around. After giving her final instructions, Su Yu hurried into her car. I watched it drive away, left standing there with a soft sigh. As I stood there dazed, a faint, elegant fragrance drifted over. I lowered my eyes and met her gentle gaze. For a moment, I forgot to move. What does she want? If she tries lecturing me, I am running away. Mo Xiang looked me up and down, her voice low and incredibly charming. It is getting late. Let's go inside. Oh, okay. I stepped slightly to the side, wanting her to go first. Since I wasn't moving, Mo Xiang's tone turned a bit colder. What is wrong? Am I so beautiful that you cannot even walk? My tone was stiff as I said, you go first. Mo Xiang had no idea what schemes were running through my head. All she cared about was making sure Chen did not run away. Stop dawdling and get inside. I immediately felt annoyed, glancing at the road behind her to weigh my chances of escaping. Mo Xiang noticed what I was planning, and her eyes grew even colder. Your sister left you in my care. I have to be responsible for your safety. If you want to leave, you will have to wait for her to pick you up herself. I scoffed coldly, turned around, and walked into the villa. There was no fighting this, and I had to accept my fate. If Chen actually insisted on running away, I wouldn't know what to do. I walked into the living room and plopped onto the sofa. Where is my room? To answer Master Su, it is the first room at the top of the stairs on the 2nd floor. I do not want that one. I want the one down the hall. Just then, Mo Xiang walked into the room. I quickly switched to a polite tone. You promised my sister you would take care of me, and I just want a room I actually like. No problem. Empty my master bedroom for him. My eyes widened in total shock. I never expected the room I randomly pointed at was her actual bedroom. Never mind. I really do not want it anymore. Just find me any random room on the 3rd floor. Master Su, there are actually no bedrooms on the 3rd floor. Mo Xiang walked over, poured a glass of water, and handed it to me. There are only 2 bedrooms in this house, so pick one. Whichever one you want is fine. This ruthless, legendary queen of the business world is actually pouring me a glass of water. It is a total 180 from her usual image as an ice-cold queen. I stared blankly at her, totally forgetting to look away. Mo Xiang felt a bit shy under my gaze. She played it cool, asking if there was something on her face. No. Mo Xiang assumed I was just totally captivated by her beauty. Feeling secretly pleased, her tone grew a little softer. Have you decided which room you want? Any room is fine. You pick. I will just sleep in whichever room you sleep in. Mo Xiang gave me a deeply meaningful look. Even the maid standing nearby froze, totally shocked by my words. I finally realized how suggestive that sounded and scrambled to correct myself. Just give me whatever room is left. Mo Shuin smiled and told the maid it was getting late and to tidy up the guest room for me first. The maid nodded and stepped away. I watched her leave, hesitated for a second, and called out a quick thank you. But Mo Shuing's face immediately turned cold. She hated that polite thank you, especially since it felt like we were keeping our distance. It just felt way too formal. I picked up my glass to take a sip, but the phone in my pocket suddenly started ringing. I pulled it out, glanced at the caller ID, and sneaked a quick look at Mo Shuing. She was still standing next to me, thinking my sneaky behavior made it obvious I did not want her to know who was calling. Mo Shuing caught the faint look of joy on my face, and a bad feeling immediately crept into her chest. She walked over and sat right next to me. The sofa cushion sank, and I turned my head to meet her gaze directly. "Who is that on the phone?" "Hey, Chen, why is there a woman's voice right next to you?" I lowered my voice, explaining she was just my sister's friend. As for Mo Shuing's question, I completely avoided answering it. Instead, I stood up and deliberately put some distance between us. Mo Shuing stared at me, her eyes full of playful irritation. I had to keep explaining over the phone, insisting that I was really at home with my sister's friend and nobody else. Mo Shuing's voice sounded nothing like Su Yue's. Joey could naturally tell the difference. Watching me frantically try to explain, Mo Shuing felt a sharp surge of jealousy bubbling up inside. She raised her voice, saying in a seductive tone, "Hey Chen, it's getting late. Come upstairs and get some rest with me." My eyes widened in absolute disbelief. Joey snapped, "What did you just say?" "Su Chen, where are you, and who are you resting with?" "No, it's not what you think. You're misunderstanding," but the call was abruptly cut off. I frowned and glared at Mo Shuing, completely speechless. What kind of nonsense was that? "Look what you did." She totally misunderstood. Misunderstood what? She thinks there is actually something going on between us. The words were right on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't bring myself to say them. I just hung my head. I remembered my sister warning me that Mo Shuing is not someone to be messed with. I couldn't risk offending her, so I quickly changed the subject. "You just called me Chen. Weren't you using my full name just a few minutes ago?" She shrugged. "Am I not allowed to?" "No, it is not that. It just feels a little weird." Hearing me say this, Mo Shuing's mood instantly brightened up. She asked if the person on the phone was my girlfriend. I turned my face away, feeling embarrassed. "Of course not." She asked if we were dating, and I said no. "Tell the truth," she teased. She muttered about wanting to see which brat dared to set her sights on her man. I insisted I was not dating her. "We are just close friends. You promised me, so you are absolutely not allowed to tell my sister. Even if they aren't dating now, they probably will be soon," she thought, feeling annoyed. Seeing her silent, I started to panic a bit. I quickly spoke up, saying I was going upstairs to my room. I stood up in a panic to slip away, but my leg bumped into her knee. A wave of her delicate fragrance washed over me. I stared down at her, my eyes wide with shock. She looked up at me quietly. We were incredibly close to each other, and my voice carried a hint of pure panic. "I really didn't mean to," I stammered, my voice trembling. In all my life, I had never been this close to a girl. My face instantly turned beet red. "What did you say?" I frantically tried to stand, but whether from pure nerves or something else, I tripped over my own feet and fell back down again. This time, I completely missed the sofa armrest. It was an incredibly clumsy and awkward scene. I quickly scrambled to my feet and fled in a panic. "Silly puppy, you can't even walk straight," she teased. "I am not a silly puppy," I muttered. Watching me retreat, Mo Shuing sighed helplessly. She realized she had fallen hard for him. Meanwhile, I went back to my room, washed up, and stared at my phone, feeling pretty worried. Joey was not even replying to my messages now. What do? I always have trouble sleeping in a new bed, tossing and turning all night. In the next room, Mo Shuing was also having a sleepless night. She kept thinking about sneaking next door just to look at him. No, what if he is a light sleeper and she woke him up? What if he thinks I am a creep? She agonized over it for most of the night before finally giving up on the idea. At 8:30 a.m., Mo Shuing sat at the dining table looking at the breakfast, her gaze drifting toward the second floor from time to time. Aunt Leo got the hint immediately. "Miss, should I go call young Master Su down for breakfast?" Mo Shuing just nodded in silence. 10 minutes later, sporting messy hair and dark circles under my eyes, I dragged myself downstairs. Honestly, what kind of college student gets up at 8 in the morning for breakfast? I barely slept last night, and it is all your fault. Joey is totally ignoring me now. The second I said that, Mo Shuing's face went cold. I had someone look into her last night. That Joey girl has been getting way too close to my silly puppy lately. Imagine that, losing a whole night of sleep over some girl. So what? If you had not talked all that trash yesterday, Joey would still be talking to me. Mo Shuing picked up her coffee and took a slow sip, hiding her annoyance. I walked over, sat down at the table, and quietly ate my porridge. I asked very cautiously, could you please come with me today to help explain things to her? Mo Shui-ying gave me a quick, cold look and said absolutely nothing. I froze and did not dare make another sound. I kept my head down and quietly ate my porridge, cursing myself. Had I lost my mind from exhaustion? How did I dare order her around? I was begging for a death wish. But right when I expected a refusal, she asked, when are we leaving? Did you want me to explain or not? Today is not very good. What about tomorrow? Sure. Just stay home and get some rest today. I will go with you tomorrow. Good. Time to plan a great show for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will make sure you two completely fall out. Of course, I had absolutely no idea what she was really planning. I was foolish enough to think she was actually nice, even feeling bad about my past attitude. Was I really that awful to her? After all, she is Su Yu's childhood friend. I should try to be nicer to her now. That thought made me feel a lot better. Once breakfast was over, I went back to my room to catch up on some sleep. Before sleeping, I texted Joey to say I would bring someone to explain everything tomorrow. No need, she replied. Early next morning, I got into Mo Shui-ying's Maybach. Sister Shui-ying, thank you so much for taking the time to come and explain everything with me. Mo Shui-ying pursed her lips, absolutely loving it. Chen calling her Sister Shui-ying, her silly puppy, sounded so sweet. You are very welcome, she said. I promised Su Yu I would take good care of you, but Sister Shui-ying, you are clearly my sister's bitter rival. Why did she leave me with you? I do not know either. That idiot Su Yu is completely blind. She thought keeping you with me was the safest bet, having no clue I have had my eye on you for years. I was literally just stressing over how to get close to you, and then she goes and does this. She delivered you right to my door. What a god-tier assist. Joey was currently interning at her family business, so we headed straight over to find her. When we pulled up, Mo Shui-ying and I got out. She stared at the plain little building in front of us, her brows knitting together. Well, Chen's taste really is not that great. Does he not care about family status when picking a partner? I walked ahead, noticed she was lagging behind, and turned back to grab her arm, pulling her inside. Let us go. Come on. Mo Shui-ying's eyelashes fluttered. She looked down at my hand holding her arm. Right as she reached to grab my wrist, I suddenly let go and walked fast toward the front desk. Mo Shui-ying followed slowly. Just hold my hand already, she thought, but I had already turned away. Mo Shui-ying looked at her empty hand, feeling a sudden flash of disappointment. Let us get going. After passing through the security gate, we stepped into the elevator while I kept checking her expression. She seemed kind of annoyed. Why? Whatever, as long as she helps me clear things up. Nothing else can go wrong. I looked up at her sister Shui-ying. You really have to explain everything clearly to her. Please do not let her get the wrong idea again. Right then, the elevator doors slid open. I hurried out. Even though Joey was just an intern, she was already a supervisor with her own private office. Scanning the floor, I spotted her door and walked over, finding it cracked open just a bit. Did Joey know I was coming and leave the door open for me? Yesterday, she told me not to visit. Guess she did not mean it. Good thing I was persistent. Slowly, I pushed the door open. The moment I stepped inside, I heard strange noises. Looking over at the couch, a guy and girl were right there. That woman's figure was instantly familiar. I took a hard step back, my eyes going wide. Joey. Hearing my voice, Joey snapped out of it. Su Chen, she gasped, then whipped her head to the guy. Lu Qingyang, why are you here? Lu Qingyang calmly adjusted his clothes with a smug grin. Joey, what are you talking about? Zhou Yi stood up in a panic and rushed over to me. Ah, Chen, it is not what it looks like. Please listen to me. Let me explain, she pleaded, saying she thought it was me. I stared at the fresh marks on her neck, my chest aching with pure rage. Are you out of your mind? Zhou Yi tried to reach for my hand, but Mo Shang stepped in and blocked her. You do not deserve to touch him, Mo Shang snapped. Zhu Yi looked completely helpless, begging me to listen. She kept insisting she thought it was me and did not know how it became him. I scoffed, where on earth do I look like that guy? To think I actually brought someone here to explain things to you. I must have been completely blind. Zhao Yi babbled incoherently, crying that she was sorry, that she did not like him, and that I was the only one she loved. My eyes filled with pure disgust. I told her I do not want cheap, second-hand goods. She absolutely sickened me. I came here today to explain what happened the other day, but clearly, there is absolutely no need for that now. We are finished. Zhu Yi grabbed for me, crying that it was all just a huge misunderstanding. But Lu Qingyang suddenly grabbed her hand from behind, begging her not to leave. I stepped into the elevator, hanging my head. I felt my emotions spinning completely out of control. To think she whispered those sweet words to me every single day. It was all a lie. Do not be sad, she told me. You two were never actually together, so whatever she does is none of your business. There is no point crying over her. But her words felt like a sharp knife driving straight into my chest. I looked up, glaring at her with bitter resentment. You are just here to laugh at me, right? Are you happy now? My sister was right. You just hate our Sioux family. But she quickly shook her head, insisting she was not mocking me. I refused to listen. The moment the elevator doors slid open, I stormed out and left her standing there. Outside the building, I habitually climbed into the back of the Maybach. Realizing it was her car, I tried to escape, but the doors locked. Hearing the soft rustle of fabric, I swallowed hard and asked what she was doing. Mo Shuang just gently tapped my forehead. Her voice was unbelievably soft. Do not be sad. Spotting her true colors before you even started dating is actually a blessing. I felt sick inside. I could not comprehend why Ju Yi would do this when we were so close to officially becoming a couple. How did everything fall apart so fast? But my deep, stubborn pride refused to let me show even a hint of weakness. I turned away, stubbornly muttering that she was not my type anyway. If it is over, and I do not care. Mo Shuang clearly did not buy it. Is that so? She teased. I glared back, warning her that she was absolutely not allowed to tell my sister about this. Mo Shuang smiled and agreed instantly, promising she would not say a word. I told her to let the driver take me home while she went about her day. She agreed, stepping out of the car. After watching the Maybach pull away, she turned and headed toward a Bentley parked nearby. Standing beside the luxury car, Yu Qing was handing a 1 million yuan check to Lu Qingyang. Lu Qingyang grabbed the check, grinning from ear to ear. Mo Shuang's cold eyes swept over him with clear disgust. Send him overseas. Make sure he never sets foot in this city again. He is an absolute eyesore. Back at the villa, I locked myself in my room, sat on the couch, and stared blankly out the window. When Mo Shuang finally got home from work, the maids told her that I had skipped lunch entirely, cooped up in my room and refusing to come out. She was instantly annoyed. That stubborn idiot. He swore earlier he was fine, and now he was hiding in his room playing the brooding prince. Her high heels clicked sharply up the stairs, followed by a soft, impatient knock on my door. Ah, Chen. Open the door, Mo Shuang called out from the hallway. When I did not answer, she warned me she would just barge in, and immediately pushed the door open. I slowly looked up at her. My blank, unfocused eyes showed nothing but complete helplessness. Seeing how pathetic I looked instantly melted Mo Shuang's anger. Did you not say you did not care? Why are you hiding and starving yourself? I stared at the gorgeous, elegant woman standing before me and asked quietly if I just was not handsome enough. Why else would she choose that loser over me? Hearing my insecurity, she frowned, her tone sharp as she said Zhou Yi was never good enough. With your family background and looks, you deserve someone infinitely better than her. There was a subtle, hidden meaning in her words, but I was far too consumed by my own misery to notice. Now get downstairs and eat. You have starved yourself all day, which is terrible for your health. I mumbled that I was not hungry. If you do not move right now, I am calling your sister this very second. Her threat immediately snapped me out of my self-pity. Grumbling that she was ruthless, I finally gave in, slipped on my shoes, and headed down to eat. I slumped at the table, absent-mindedly picking at the food in my bowl. Look at all this food on the table. Is there really nothing you want? I didn't even look up, just mumbling that I had no appetite. I wasn't sure if I actually hated the food, or if I just hated her bossing me around. Mo Shuang didn't say another word, but I could feel the cold distance radiating from her. After dinner, I went to my room. Joey's office scene kept replaying in my head, and the more I thought about it, the more frustrated I got. Driven by a sudden impulse, I stepped out of my room and hesitated for a long moment. I knocked on Mo Shuang's door next door. I waited, but there was no sound. Just as I started to chicken out, the door suddenly swung open. I stared at the woman standing in front of me. She had clearly just taken a shower. Her damp hair was draped over her shoulders, looking completely relaxed and effortless. How could she open the door looking like this? My eyes drifted down her neck. Wait, what was I doing? She asked if I needed something. She spoke first, sounding a bit surprised. I mumbled that it was nothing and turned to run, but she called out to me. Where are you going? Ah Chen. Her playful voice drifted from behind. I froze, feeling flustered. I told her I wanted to go to a bar for some drinks. Immediately, she snapped back that I wasn't allowed to go. It was too late. I braced myself and argued back that I was going anyway because I felt awful inside. She told me we had alcohol at home and to drink here instead. Then she shut her bedroom door and grabbed my wrist. I stared down at her hand as she led me down to the basement wine cellar. Reluctantly letting go of my wrist, She grabbed a bottle of red wine from the sleek cabinet, opened it, and poured it into a decanter. The rich aroma of the wine filled the air, making me swallow hard. I realized I had never actually tasted red wine before. I had only ever tried a few sips of cocktails. In the past, my sister always stopped me. She always warned me that men get violent and lose control when they drink. Thinking of that, I asked Mo Shuying if this wine would make me angry. Mo Shuying laughed softly and asked who told me that. I muttered that my sister did. She explained that drinking in moderation is actually good for you, but only a little bit. My eyes instantly lit up. I stared at the decanter and asked if I could drink now. She told me to wait a little longer. It needed to breathe so it wouldn't taste bitter. I deflated instantly. 2 seconds later, I asked again if I could drink yet. Mo Shuying looked up with amusement in her eyes. She picked up the decanter, slowly poured the wine, and handed me the glass. She asked if my sister never let me touch alcohol. My mouth twitched. Hating to admit the truth, I lied and said she let me drink. She chuckled softly, choosing not to expose me. Walking around, she sat on the bar stool next to me. I raised the glass, took a small sip, and immediately frowned. It tasted bitter and harsh. This was nothing like a smooth cocktail. She smiled and asked if I wasn't used to it. She offered to get me some juice instead. Glaring at her, I downed the rest of the glass in one defiant gulp. A sharp, sweet heat spread through my mouth. I decided this fancy wine was all show and no real kick. Mo Shuying smiled and took a sip from her own glass. Seeing me pour another, she warned me to slow down. She told me to be careful not to get drunk. I scoffed I could easily drink 1,000 cups. I downed the second glass in one go. But the moment it hit my stomach, my head started to spin. My vision blurred and I slumped onto the bar counter, completely paralyzed. Mo Shuying just smiled, shaking her head as she sipped. She whispered to herself that it seemed Ah Chen really didn't treat her like a stranger anymore. Groggily lifting my head, I stared at her and said she was so good to me. A wave of surprise crossed her eyes. She leaned closer and asked if I meant it. I nodded heavily, groaning that my head was spinning even faster. Staring at her lips, that frustrating scene in Joey's office flashed in my mind again, and a sudden wave of sorrow hit me. Bold with alcohol, I leaned closer. She asked softly if I even knew who she was, and I slowly shook my head. Dizzy and heavy-headed, I mumbled to myself that I wasn't good enough. She answered softly that I was more than enough. She held me close, whispering that our Ah Chen was the absolute best. Mo Shuying kept supporting my weight, pressing my face against the cold bar counter. I mumbled that I was the best, and Joey was the one who didn't deserve me. Mo Shuying watched me affectionately. Why was this silly puppy of hers reacting so strongly to all of this? He was clearly a hopeless romantic. Soon, sleepiness washed over me, and my breathing slowed to a steady rhythm. She whispered my name a few times, and when she got no answer, she had a bodyguard carry me back to my room. Just as Mo Shuying was tucking me in, I groggily opened my eyes. All I could see were her tempting red lips. Driven by some sudden impulse, I lifted my head and leaned in. Mo Shuying's eyes instantly widened in complete disbelief. My eyes were completely unfocused, but I smiled up at her dizzily. She asked me in a stern, serious tone, "Su Chen, do you even know who I am? You can't just go around kissing people." My head was spinning so fast I barely understood her. All I knew was that she seemed upset, so I quickly rolled over to escape her scolding. Since I stayed silent, her expression softened. Her gaze drifted down to my lips, and her fingertips subconsciously brushed against her own. "Sleep well, Ah Chen. Tomorrow you'll forget all about Zhu Yi." Early the next morning, Mo Shuying was eating breakfast when a video call suddenly flashed on her screen. "Where's my brother?" The second the call connected, Su Yu demanded answers. Mo Shuying scoffed, "Took you long enough to remember you actually have a brother." Su Yu sounded slightly guilty, explaining she had just been incredibly busy. Besides, she had already looked into things. "You didn't go abroad for work, you clearly went to chase a man." Mo Shuying replied coolly, telling her if she was so busy, she shouldn't call. "Your brother is doing perfectly fine here. I won't let him starve." Su Yu shot back, "That's not enough. What if you bully him?" Just then, I stumbled downstairs, rubbing my eyes and mumbled, "Sis, is that you? I thought I heard your voice." Su Yu's voice instantly shot up an octave as she squealed, "Little brother." Mo Shuying calmly turned the phone camera toward me. Seeing my messy bedhead, Su Yu gasped, "Mo Shuying, is this what you've done to our Ah Chen?" Mo Shuying stared back in complete shock, clearly not expecting Su Yu to pick a fight over a little messy hair. Listening to them, I cringed so hard I could have dug a tunnel. Mo Shuying snapped back, "You don't expect me to style his hair and pick out his outfits, do you?" Su Yu was ready to blow a fuse, but then she realized something and her expression instantly turned smug. "Right? You're just a single dog with no brother and no boyfriend. So it makes sense you wouldn't know how to care for someone. Mo Xuanying stood there, completely speechless, realizing Su Yu was just bragging about her own relationship. Staring at Su Yu on the screen with pure disdain, she thought to herself, go ahead and laugh while you can. Just wait until I make your brother mine, then we'll see who's laughing. Meanwhile, Su Yu insisted she hire a professional stylist to manage my image. She claimed I was used to high standards at home. I walked over and muttered weakly, sis, I can handle myself. But she insisted I paid good money for your stay, so make sure you don't compromise your lifestyle or suffer. I didn't dare speak up again, only stealing a glance at Mo Xuanying, who remained perfectly calm. She said it was no big deal. The young master deserves the absolute best. Under her breath, she added, if he's treated poorly, how am I supposed to win his heart? Then my sister asked with fake concern, little brother, she hasn't been bullying you, right? No, Sister Xuanying is actually really nice. Mo Xuanying rolled her eyes at me, you are not allowed to call me sister. Confused, I asked what I should call her instead. She replied, call me Mo Xuanying. Then Su Yu chimed in, telling me to report any mistreatment. She promised to handle it. Unwilling to argue with my dramatic sister, I just nodded obediently as Mo Xuanying flipped the camera back. All right, my battery is dying, I'm hanging up now. But before she could, Su Yu screamed, don't you dare bully my little brother. I'll be checking on him constantly. Mo Xuanying hung up, tossed her phone aside, and watched me quietly eat my porridge. You're up pretty early. I figured my silly Ah Chen drank way too much last night and would be nursing a hangover. I even told them not to wake you. My mouth twitched. Of course I had to get up early. Otherwise, it would be so embarrassing to wait around for the host to invite me down. A strange silence fell over us before she asked, do you remember last night? I blinked, completely confused. What did I do? I really don't remember. Mo Xuanying stared at me with a knowing, smug look. It's nothing. You passed out after just 2 glasses, so I had someone carry you upstairs to bed. Mo Xuanying hesitated for a second. Best to keep quiet. We've only been living together a few days after all. What if I scare my cute little puppy away? I froze as my heart skipped a beat. I thought I stumbled back to my room alone. Our eyes met in a sudden clash. I muttered an apology, but she quickly cut in, you're not allowed to drink with anyone else from now on. It is just too dangerous. Internally, Mo Xuanying shivered. I couldn't even resist kissing him myself just now. If some other girl steals him away, it'll be a total disaster. Meanwhile, any warmth I felt vanished instantly. You are honestly just as nagging as my sister. So annoying. Once breakfast was over, I started heading upstairs. Halfway up the steps, I felt someone tailing me. Turning around, I saw Mo Xuanying standing just 2 steps below. Sister Xuanying, aren't you heading to work? She smirked, your sister told me to manage your image. Manage me? I stared at her in utter confusion. Don't scare me. I'm already terrified. There is no need. Sister Xuanying, I can do it myself. You won't even listen to your own sister? Really, I don't need help. I've got this. My repeated refusals only made the icy air around Mo Xuanying grow heavier. She shot me a freezing look, turned around, and walked off. Why is she even mad? While I was fixing my hair, my childhood friend called. I put it on speaker and tossed it down. Hey, Yoonji, what is up? Sounds like you are finally over your heartbreak. I curled my lip in disgust. What heartbreak? We were never even dating anyway. Exactly. Now that I have calmed down, admitting I had feelings for Jo Yi is just embarrassing. On the line, Yoonji sounded a bit confused. But seriously, Jo Yi does not seem like the cheating type. Are you sure there is no misunderstanding between you two? Misunderstanding? I saw it with my own eyes. What is there to misunderstand about that? My sister was right, women are nothing but trouble. Honestly, Su Yu herself is nothing but trouble too. Are you doing okay living over there? No, I hate staying here. Then sneak over to my place for a couple of days. If you say so, I am actually coming. I am not home yet, my flight lands at 9 p.m. tonight. Wait for me to pick you up. Perfect. Mo Xuanying has a business dinner tonight and will not be back until very late. I can use this chance to crash at my friend's place for a bit. At 10 p.m., a luxury van pulled up to the estate gates. Once I got the message, I grabbed my bags and slipped out the door. But to my horror, as soon as I stepped outside, I spotted 2 women standing there chatting. Hearing me, Mo Xuanying turned and glanced over. Her eyes were so icy that I instantly lost all my courage. From the van, Yoonji excitedly waved at me. Hey, Ah Chen. I glanced at him, then quickly looked away toward Meng Yao. Yoon Meng Yao looked at her in disbelief. Su Yu actually left her brother with you? Mo Xuanying did not reply. She was in a foul mood. Why did my silly puppy not say hi? Call me sister, she ordered coldly. What are you doing out this late? An instant wave of guilt hit me. This woman is way scarier than my sister. I'm just going out. I looked at Yoonji in the car, begging for backup. You are not allowed to go. Why? It is too late for night trips. Turning to Yoon Meng Yao, I pleaded, Sister Meng Yao, can I please go crash at your place? Yoon Meng Yao shot a nervous glance at Mo Shuang. She knew they came all this way just to rescue Ah Chen. But with Mo Shuang standing right there, who would dare say yes? Ah Chen, be good. It is way too late tonight. Just hang out with Yoonji tomorrow instead. Deflated, I looked back at the van. Yoonji glared angrily at his older sister. My sister is such a coward. She cannot even stand up to Mo Shuang. Meanwhile, Mo Shuang bluntly ordered them to leave. You two can leave now. Yoonji and I shared a miserable look before Mo Shuang stepped up, glaring. What are you looking at? Get inside, right now. I dragged my feet back toward the house, muttering to myself, does she think she owns the whole ocean? Why does she have to control my entire life? Your sister told me to do this, Mo Shuang replied, her eyes narrowing. Wait, are you not my sister's bitter rival? Why do you listen to her so well then? Do not tell me you secretly have a crush on her. More like a crush on you, I rolled my eyes internally. Psycho. You need to start being a bit bolder, you know? Whatever my sister tells you to forbid, you should actually let me do. That is how you show her who is boss. Mo Shuang grabbed my hand right as I was putting it down. What are you doing? Panic flared inside me. Ah Chen, are you trying to boss me around? I instantly backed down. No, it is just a friendly suggestion. It is entirely up to you. Mo Shuang let out a soft, low chuckle. Do you want to leave me? I lied instantly. Of course not. Mo Shuang smirked to herself. Her silly puppy really did not know how to lie. He hid nothing. Ah Chen, be a good boy. Your sister will treat you well. Hearing her soft, seductive voice, my heart skipped a beat. Sister Shuang, I promise to be obedient from now on. I will do whatever you tell me to do. Mo Shuang eyed me skeptically for a long moment before speaking. Starting today, your curfew is 8 p.m. every single night. She paused, then added, actually, the weather is getting colder, so let us make it 7 p.m. instead. Hearing that, my forced smile instantly melted away. What a heartless woman. I am going to tell my sister you are bullying me. Mo Shuang watched me stomp away, then pulled out her phone and shot a text over to Suyu. There are too many sketchy girls running around lately. A strict curfew is a pretty solid idea. I have to work, so I cannot keep an eye on him 24/7. Back in my room, I called Suyu to complain, but it totally backfired. She ended up lecturing me instead. She told me I am not allowed to hang out with sketchy girls. I was so angry I could not sleep. The next morning, I dragged myself up, completely miserable, and slumped down at the dining table. I glared daggers at the woman staring at her phone across from me. Mo Shuang completely ignored my dirty looks. She casually brought her coffee cup to her lips. I jumped up, snatched the mug right out of her hand, and dumped it on the floor. I lifted my chin defiantly. Hot coffee had splashed all over Mo Shuang's hand. Aunt Lu, standing nearby, quickly scrambled to find an excuse to escape, telling the young miss to wait a moment. She promised to brew another cup right away. I looked into Mo Shuang's eyes, and a sudden chill ran down my spine. Oh, crap. She is actually angry, but then I hesitated. Why is she not yelling at me yet? If she does not lash out, how am I supposed to complain to my sister and move back home? Maybe she is not mad enough. Right then, Aunt Lu returned with a fresh cup. Seeing Mo Shuang stay quiet, I grabbed the mug and took a massive gulp. I coughed. Why is this so bitter? Mo Shuang set her phone down, watching me with a relaxed, highly amused expression. I set the mug down in disgust. She reminded me that the maids have a hard time cleaning up my messes. I heard she is a major germaphobe. If I take a sip, there is no way she will touch it. Mo Shuang suddenly asked if it was good. I froze for a second, then stubbornly told her it was delicious. She replied that as long as it was good, she was happy. She then drank from the exact spot my lips had touched, downing it in one gulp. I was completely stunned. Next to us, Aunt Lu looked like she had just seen a ghost. Mo Shuang calmly noted the coffee was sweet today. I grumbled internally, how is that bitter stuff sweet? Did this woman have broken taste buds? But Aunt Lu, standing right there, understood the hidden meaning perfectly. She knew it. Why else would the young miss let some random guy move in? He was clearly her sweetheart. Mo Shuang stood up with a sly smile, telling me she was leaving for work and that I had to be home before 8 p.m. Something was definitely off. My sister swore she was a massive neat freak. Could her intel have been wrong? Seeing me space out, Mo Shuang headed for the door, but paused when I called out to her. She looked down at my hand grabbing her arm, teasing that her silly puppy was being very proactive today. I looked back expectantly. I asked her to take me to work, promising to follow her lead in absolutely everything. My plan was to stick to her like glue until she felt completely suffocated and annoyed. Mo Shuang gladly agreed, and I was thrilled as I followed her into the Maybach, texting my sister to verify the details. Mo Shuang supposedly despised scheming, pushy men. I slipped my phone away and casually threw my arm around her shoulder. Her eyes softened with deep affection as she asked why her silly puppy was being so forward today. She naturally rested her head on my shoulder. I froze what was going on, and why was she leaning on me? Shouldn't she be pushing me away? After a tense silence, I blurted out if she was going to shove me off. She chuckled softly, asking why she would ever push her Chen away. My face twisted in pure confusion. Since when was I hers? I tried to pull my arm back, but she locked me in, wrapping her arm tightly around my waist. I looked completely dead inside, praying she would move her hand. This was absolute mental torture. Why did I even initiate this hug? I was dying. Fortunately, the driver finally spoke up and saved me from the awkwardness. The driver announced our arrival, and she finally let go, telling me to step out of the car first. She needed a second to calm down because hugging her silly puppy was so comfortable. She almost lost her professional composure. Just then, her assistant Shu Chang stepped out of the elevator to escort me upstairs. I glanced back at Mo Shuang sitting in the car. She was resting with her eyes closed. Why was she not coming up? Yu Shuqing seemed to read my mind, explaining that President Mo had some business to handle and that I should wait upstairs. I grumbled silently. Did she really look like she was working? Still, Yu Shuqing led me straight to the chief executive office. As one of the few people in the know about President Mo's secret crush on young Master Su, I had all the gossip. Every time Miss Su brought her brother along, President Mo would always find an excuse to tag along. She would not actually do anything. She just stared at him secretly, which always ended up completely annoying him. A few days ago at a party, President Mo crashed the event just because some rich heiress tried to hit on young Master Su, and President Mo literally had someone throw her out. It is just too cute to ship them. Shu Qing snapped out of her thoughts. Young Master Su, please take a seat. Let me know what you would like to eat. I will have the secretary bring it over. No need. I walked over to the huge floor-to-ceiling window and looked down. Wait, that is not right. What am I doing here? Shouldn't I be sticking by Mo Shuing's side 24/7? Assistant Shu, wait a minute. Shu Qing stopped and looked at me. Is there anything else? Young Master Su, I think I should get a hold of Mo Shuing's schedule first. What is she doing later? Shu Qing thought for a moment and decided to answer truthfully. President Mo has a meeting in 20 minutes. Which conference room is it? Take me there. Shu Qing thought to herself that young Master Su wants to get to know President Mo better. Without a word, she took me straight to the room. When Mo Shuing came upstairs, Shu Qing was waiting by the elevator, saying everyone was ready. The meeting can start as soon as you head over. But first, Mo Shuing asked where I was. Where is Su Chen? He is in your office. Mo Shuing immediately turned around to head back there. Meetings are nowhere near as appealing as her silly puppy, Shu Qing secretly grumbled from behind. Her boss is totally love-struck. To get her to actually attend the meeting, Shu Qing had a sudden flash of inspiration. She spoke up, saying she noticed young Master Su looked tired earlier and should be resting. At those words, Mo Shuing stopped in her tracks. She hesitated for just a second before heading to the conference room, deciding she would not disturb her silly puppy's rest. Shu Qing secretly rejoiced she was such a genius for having the boss wrapped around her finger. When the meeting was in full swing, I pushed the door open without any warning. Under the collective gaze of everyone in the room, I walked in with a smile, pointing out they had been meeting for quite a while. I announced that President Mo was treating everyone to drinks as the delivery guy brought them in and started handing them out. The crowd looked at Mo Shuing in shock, while she just looked lazy and relaxed, gazing at me with affectionate eyes. I casually grabbed a cup of fruit tea and served her like a total suck-up, telling her it was hot outside. I secretly rubbed my hands together, desperately wishing she would get mad, scold me, and kick me out. Mo Shuing took in my smug expression completely. Instead of snapping, she just picked up the fruit tea and took a sip. She said it was pretty good. Everyone is completely horrified. What the hell? Not only is President Mo not angry, she is smiling. After exchanging glances, everyone tacitly picked up their drinks and started sipping. Mo Shuing asked if they were going to say anything to young Master Su since he treated them on such a hot day. Everyone said in unison, "Thank you for the milk tea, young Master Su." I frowned slightly. This is not how the plot is supposed to go. I told them to carry on and that I would not bother them. With that, I quietly slipped out of the room. Mo Shuing's gaze followed me, then shifted back to the clueless executives. Seeing them still drinking the beverages I bought, she glared with jealousy and asked if it tasted good. Everyone immediately started kissing up, saying it was delicious, but Mo Shuing just swept a cold glare over them. Catching the hint, everyone quickly changed their tune, claiming it tasted terrible, which only made Mo Shu-wing look more displeased. Everyone shut up, not daring to say a word. She announced that because they drank during a meeting, their monthly bonuses were gone. Everyone's faces went completely numb. Shu Qing, standing to the side, promptly confiscated the rest of the milk teas. This was the very first time President Mo had ever received a gift from young Master Su. These people actually thought they could share it. They must have a death wish. Their hearts ached, losing both bonuses and drinks. I returned to the office and plopped down in Mo Shu-ing's leather chair. This woman is seriously unflappable. She did not look flustered at all. No wonder, her family is doing slightly better than mine. My sister really cannot compare. When her crush ran off, she chased right after him like a total love-struck fool. Wait, does Mo Shu-ing actually have any guys she likes? Right as she walked out, several people sent her the exact same message. They told her that the young master of the Su family was asking if she had a sweetheart. She pushed the door open. She saw me sitting in her chair, slumped over listlessly with a miserable look on my face. I had asked everyone around, but nobody knew if Mo Shu-ying had a sweetheart. Is she really incapable of falling for anyone? Seeing that I had no intention of standing up, she said with a sly look, "Chen, sitting here means you have to work." "No way." Hearing that, I instantly sprang up and offered her the seat. Mo Shu-wing sat down. "Chen, let us add each other as friends." I wanted to say no, but honestly, I didn't dare. "Why? I will transfer the delivery money to you." I told her no need. It was cheap. See, my sister might be a bit silly, but she's great at making money. My sister keeps me loaded. Still, Mo Shuang spent all day scheming to get my WeChat even though she's my sister's archrival. "Spend my cash," she said, and my sister would highly approve. I agreed. Makes total sense. Once connected, Mo Shuang immediately transferred $520,000. "Sister, why did you send that much money?" "Because a transfer with this special meaning can never be refunded, no matter what I do later." So, this exact number represents my true feelings. I was a bit confused, but somehow it made sense. Then Mo Shuang changed my nickname to Silly Puppy as my one and only heartthrob. She laughed, celebrating that she finally got my contact info. After accepting the cash, I suddenly leaned close and called her name. Mo Shuang turned around. I asked if there was any guy she liked. She turned the question back on me, asking if I liked anyone. I complained, pointing out that she already knew about Joey. Why bring up a painful topic? Mo Shuang just stared quietly into my eyes and said very seriously, "I do." My eyes bulged. She actually has a man she likes, so I demanded to know who the guy was. She refused. I begged her to tell me, but she smirked and asked why I cared. Did I secretly like her? I played along, saying she was my favorite. Giving me a playful, teasing look, she asked what kind of like I meant. That froze me completely. We do not have family ties, and this definitely isn't romance. I made a quick decision to tell a lie. If I said I had a crush on you, would you believe me? Mo Shuang froze, completely taken aback. "You have a crush on me?" "Yes," I said, "which is why I want to know who you like. What is your type?" She chuckled and nodded, saying she preferred someone who was pretty similar to me. She added that if I wanted to pursue her, I had a very high chance. This woman was totally teasing me. When she asked if I wanted to pursue her, I scoffed. "No way. My sister would break my legs, and I don't like you. Why would I pursue you?" Hearing that, she immediately looked away. Since I wasn't interested, she claimed there was no point in talking. I stood there, glared at her back, and turned to leave. She asked where I was heading. Without looking back, I said I was bored. She told me to eat lunch first, since it was almost noon. I scoffed and told her to eat alone. Sighing, Mo Shuang pressed her intercom and ordered her staff to make arrangements. She wanted bodyguards to tail me. Yu Cheng respectfully replied that he would take care of it immediately. Later, I met Yunji for lunch. I begged him to help me think. How could I convince my sister to stop letting Mo Shuang babysit me? It made no sense. Didn't my sister say Mo Shuang was completely unapproachable and that she ruined anyone who crossed her? He said she just doesn't snap at me. Snap? Are you kidding? When she glares, I practically wet my pants. She micromanages my whole life, telling me what I can and cannot do. She is worse than my sister. Hearing this, Yunji nodded and said that finally sounded like the terrifying Mo Shuang he knew. "So what do we do?" He reminded me that I crashed her meeting and she didn't even blink. "That is why I need your help." Yunji started plotting. He claimed to have plenty of crazy ideas, but doubted if I could actually handle them. For instance, no woman hates good-looking guys. What if we hire 10 handsome dudes for her? 10 out of 10? Flawless. If we do that, though, she will literally kill me, Yunji insisted. No pain, no gain. We had to go big, snap some secret photos, and text them to my sister. Once my sister sees her questionable behavior, she will drag me straight back home. What do you think? I hesitated for a second, then slammed the table. Let us do it. That night, Yoonji and I wore masks and sunglasses, sneaking into the club like thieves. Entering the private room, the staff greeted us as young masters. Yoonji looked around and nodded in satisfaction. The host confirmed they had gathered everyone exactly as requested. He praised him, then told them to wait outside and bring in some girls instead. I quickly interrupted, asking why we were hiring girls. Are you dumb? What is the point of just the two of us sitting here? Obviously, we need people to play party games with. Otherwise, we are just wasting time. I agreed it made sense, and soon we were having an absolute blast. We laughed so hard our faces hurt. My phone kept ringing non-stop, but the buzzing was totally drowned out by the blasting music. The two girls sitting beside us kept cheering loudly. Just as I went to sip juice from a girl's hand, I looked up and locked eyes with Mo Shuang. "Get out," she roared. "Everyone, leave." The manager scrambled to kick all the girls out. Even Yoonji bolted. "Sister Xiaoying, what are you even doing here?" Mo Xiaoying let out a freezing smirk. "I never knew you were such a player. Flirting with a whole crowd of women. Are we? Wait, no. What do you mean flirting?" The silence in the room was absolutely deafening. Xiaoying was practically drowning in jealousy. "Having a blast playing games with all those girls, are we? Oh, lots of fun. They really know how to treat a guy." Mo Xiaoying ground her teeth and growled my name, Su Chen, and they are pretty, too. Why won't my cute little puppy play with me instead? Xiaoying screamed inside her head. She looked ready to snap. So I thoughtfully asked, "What if I play with you next time?" "What?" She stared at me, looking totally hurt. "Are you trying to drive me insane today? I had no idea what I did wrong. If you prefer, I can easily hire a few handsome guys to keep you company instead." "What did you say?" "The boys are already waiting outside. They can play games with you whenever you want." Xiaoying looked stunned. "You guys were actually just playing video games?" I blinked, totally confused. "What else would we do?" Xiaoying snapped back. "Why was she literally feeding you?" Thinking back, I was just thirsty. Am I not even allowed a sip of juice? Xiaoying stared at my blank face, feeling a mix of annoyance and embarrassment. "You came to a club just to play games and drink juice? Absolutely not. If you step foot in here again, I will discipline you myself on behalf of your sister. You promised to be home by 8. Look at the clock." I snuck a peek at my watch. 9 o'clock. Xiaoying laughed coldly. "Oh, so you do know how to read a watch. Well, I am not going back." I wanted to annoy her. Hearing me say that, Xiaoying lost it. She yanked me to my feet and dragged me out. Just as I tried to break free, her sultry voice warned me. "I will gladly pay someone to carry you out of here." She was a bad woman. Absolutely wicked. Just as we stepped outside, the host spoke up. "Excuse me, but tonight's bill is still open. Also, the 10 guys you ordered are ready whenever you are." Xiaoying let go of my arm, looking back and forth between us. "Wait, 10 guys?" I nodded. "I ordered 10 good-looking guys to play games with you at home." Xiaoying's jaw dropped slightly. "You got them for me?" "Yeah. They are total models." Xiaoying immediately saw right through my little game. Seeing the scheming look written all over my face, she decided to save my dignity in public. "Tell those guys to get lost. And put the bill on my card." "Got it." Xiaoying grabbed my hand again and kept moving. "Your sister leaves for a few days and you immediately go wild. Do you honestly think I cannot control you? You actually tried to hire men for me? You are unbelievable." I did not care. "If you touch me, I am telling my sister." Yoonji was waiting by the exit, worried sick about me, only to watch me get dragged away like a good boy. "No way. What kind of development is this?" He immediately whipped out his phone and took 2 sneaky photos. He stared at the screen and smiled. To be honest, these two actually looked pretty good together. Xiaoying's figure is absolutely unreal. I followed her right into her Maybach, and she got in after me. "If you want to leave, you will have to make your sister pick you up." The doors clicked shut. She dialed Su Yue. "Your brother is skipping out on curfew tonight. He literally hired 10 girls." My sister paused, then started screaming through the speaker. I covered my ears, trying to block it out. Xiaoying smirked and held the phone right up to my face. Glaring at her, I built up my courage, grabbed the phone, and hung up. "You are a grown woman and you are still snitching? You know, I absolutely despise snitches. Hey, why are you pinching my cheek? Are you not even taking me seriously?" "Well, you snitched to my sister first." Our eyes locked. I looked away guiltily, trying to slide away from her. "Since you stayed out this late, are you ready for your punishment?" I stared back, completely shocked. "Are you actually going to punish me?" Xiaoying gave me a devious smile. Since you love hitting clubs and playing games with girls so much, your punishment is coming home to play with me. Staring at my pouting face, she leaned in close and wrapped her arms around my waist. Hey, stop taking advantage of me. So what if I do? I looked down at the girl hugging me and tried to figure out a quick escape route. Looking pitiful, I pleaded Sister Xiaoying. I have never been punished in my life. Please let me off. Fine. If you behave, I won't. I immediately nodded, acting completely obedient. I will be good, Sister Xiaoying. Promise? Okay. That one word sounded incredibly sweet and teasing. My chest tightened up. Suddenly, the air inside the car felt way too warm. Sister Xiaoying, could you let go of me first? She reluctantly released her grip and reached up to playfully mess up my hair. Honestly, Sister Xiaoying fits my exact vibe. Back at the Mo estate, I rushed straight to my bedroom. I pulled out my phone and saw a ton of unread texts. Over half were from Mo Xiaoying. She had spammed me with dozens of back-to-back voice notes. Her voice started off sweet but quickly turned ice cold. She warned that once she caught me, she was going to teach me a lesson. Hearing that, I just shook my head. Then, I clicked on the photo Yoonji sent. It was the candid photo he took. He asked what was going on, saying us holding hands was just too cute not to ship. I sent back a quick voice note. Forget shipping, I said. It is not what you think. Anyone could tell she was dying to teach me a lesson. He called right back. I asked him what he meant because there was no situation, but he insisted the eldest Miss Mo definitely had feelings for me. He asked when I had ever seen her with another guy, let alone holding hands. I scoffed how many times had he even met her. He did not care and was shipping us anyway. I sighed, telling him he should ship me with Sister Mingxiao instead. He said if I wanted his sister, I was blind. I asked if that was really how he talked about his own family. I reminded him he badmouths her plenty. Then he bet 5 packs of spicy snacks that Mo Xiaoying liked me. No bet, I said, not interested. He teased me for chickening out. He knew she liked me. People nowadays are just obsessed with making up weird couples. It is ridiculous. Suddenly, my phone buzzed again, and I answered with a sigh. Yoonji called back, completely hyped. Want to bet a Maserati Trident? Are you crazy? I told him to dream on. He laughed. It is only 10 million. Are you in? Deal, I said. Free money is free money. I would be an idiot to pass it up. The bet was on. After cleaning up, I sat on my bed. Then came a knock. Come in, I called. Mo Xiaoying pushed the door open and stepped inside. Realizing it was not a servant, I froze. I asked Sister Xiaoying if something was wrong. She said a brand had sent her a men's watch that she had no use for, so I should wear it. I thanked her. She did not say a word, just stared at me. My brain completely short-circuited, and I blurted out, Sister Xiaoying, do you actually like me? She said she did, and not as a brother, but as a man. Then she asked why I was bringing this up so suddenly. I told her I made a bet with Yoonji because he insisted she liked me, even though I recalled she already had someone she liked. She laughed, realizing Yoonji had figured things out so fast and actually used her as a betting chip. She asked what we bet, and I told her a new Maserati worth over 10 million. I chuckled, saying just thinking about that new sports car in my garage made me happy. Mo Xiaoying silently noted that we played pretty big. A brilliant idea hit me, and I asked Sister Xiaoying to use my phone to send Yoonji a voice message. I offered to split the car value 50-50, but she said she was not short on cash, so I suggested a 30-70 split in her favor. A 30-70 split? I worried I might end up losing 10 million instead. Then she flatly refused, saying she disliked texting other guys. Why was this woman so stubborn? That was 10 million on the line, not pocket change. Why act so aloof? She claims she hates texting other men, yet just a few hours ago, she literally spammed me with voice notes. I guess to someone like her, 10 million is pocket change. Such a double standard. Then she smiled and told me to be good. She asked which bank I used. As I turned my head in confusion, a warm, soft touch brushed against my cheek. My brain completely shorted out. Mo Xiaoying grabbed my phone, asking if I wanted a 50-50 split and offered to send it. I sat there dazed, following her lead. Soon, a bank notification popped up for $5.2 million. She was way more generous than my actual sister. Now I felt completely indebted to her, and my confidence evaporated. I asked why she transferred so much. Mo Xiaoying just put the phone down and said money was nothing compared to my happiness. I gently suggested it was getting late and she should go rest. Mo Xiaoying glanced back, trying to hide her affection. She whispered a sweet goodnight. I watched her slender silhouette leave, completely lost in thought. I could not make sense of it, so I just gave up and texted Yoonji to hang out the next day. The following morning, Mo Xiaoying floated to work in a spectacular mood. Yu Shiqing immediately knew there was major progress with young Master Su. Word of Mo Xiang's cold heart finally melting reached Shen Yueyao in no time. She immediately hopped into the group chat, demanding they drag the whole crew over to see this with their own eyes. She texted Mo Xiang, saying she grabbed that stone the young master liked and told her to come to her party tonight so they could hang. Not going, she texted. Just deliver the stone. Her friend immediately asked why. No way I am giving this priceless stone to just anyone. Shen Yueyao laughed, reading the brief message that simply said not interested. Fine, no big party, just us girls hanging out. Are you coming or not? If you skip this, I am feeding the stone to my Shiba Inu. Gu Yunyi stood nearby with a knowing grin, quickly pulling out her phone to snap a photo. A second later, the club door swung open. Shen Yueyao flinched, almost dropping the precious stone right into her dog's open mouth. She quickly and secretly shoved the gem back into its sandalwood box. We are practically done drinking and you finally show up. Mo Xiaoying ignored the tease and surprisingly did not even talk back. She walked straight over, snatched the sandalwood box off the table, and sighed with relief after checking inside. Shen Yueyao leaned in close, nearly face to face. Look at that lovesick puppy expression, she teased. You are in deep. Mo Xiaoying ignored her and turned to Yun Mengyao, asking why she was there. Gu Yunyi and Shen Yueyao just shook their heads. Yun Mengyao is my sister, Su Yu's friend, so she normally avoids these gatherings. Just then, Fu Chengyan finally spoke up. She came with me because she wanted to discuss something with you. Yun Mengyao sat down right next to Mo Xiaoying. My brother wants you to watch this. Mo Xiaoying looked down at her phone. On screen, I had just stepped out of a luxury ride and got swarmed by women asking for my socials. Mo Xiaoying's elegant brow furrowed. Those women are such an eyesore, she muttered, wanting to hide her silly puppy away. Yun Mengyao was dying for an answer. My brother made a bet with Chen. So do you actually like him or not? That is over $10 million. That is no small sum. Hearing this, the other three could barely hide their smirks. Mo Xiaoying merely curled her red lips. Did you really come all this way just to ask that? Well, yeah, now leave. You heartless woman. Yun Mengyao stood up, leaned in to whisper in Fu Chengyan's ear, and asked if she actually liked him or not. Fu Chengyan just shrugged. What do you think? With no real answer, Yun Mengyao had to leave empty-handed. Yun Shi is going to call me a dumb sister again. Once she was gone, the others started teasing Mo Xiaoying again. I heard Su Yu left her brother at your place for safekeeping. What was she thinking? That is like sending a lamb straight to the slaughter. You have got the home field advantage here. You had better make your move fast. Your future husband is literally in your living room right now. Strike first. Mo Xiaoying glared, too exhausted to even play along. Hearing this, Shen Yueyao asked bluntly if she was not worried Su Yu would put a knife to her throat. You know, with all the kissing and hugging, why do you always think the absolute worst of me? Then the three of them began plotting, offering wild ideas on how to trick him into her arms while Su Yu was overseas. Meanwhile, back at the Mo estate, my phone started buzzing with a voice call. It was an unknown number. I had no idea who it could be, so I just let it ring. A moment later, it rang again. I picked it up, totally confused. But before I could say a word, a woman spoke. Hey, Su Chen. I am Mo Xiaoying's friend. She is totally wasted. Can you come pick her up? I will text you the address. With that, Shen Yueyao abruptly hung up. Back at the club, Gu Yunyi watched her antics and just shook her head. Shen Yueyao, you are hilarious. Su Chen does not even like Mo Xiaoying. Why would he ever show up? At those words, Mo Xiaoying took a heavy gulp of alcohol, trying to mask her deep disappointment. Shen Yueyao nudged Gu Yunyi. If you do not get it, just keep quiet. 10 minutes later, the family driver called to say he was heading over. See, I told you there was a real shot. Now, your next step is to take control of the situation. Sooner or later, he will fall head over heels for you. Mo Xiaoying was already starting to believe her own hype. My silly puppy is actually willing to come all this way to rescue me. He definitely cares. I stepped out of the car at the club entrance, feeling pretty speechless. Was she supposed to look after me, or am I babysitting her? Since I just took her money, I felt too guilty to ignore her. As they say, taking someone's cash makes you soft. I located the private VIP room and pushed the door open. I definitely did not expect to find only a handful of women drinking inside. Every single eye snapped to me at once. I quickly made my way over to Mo Xiaoying. My eyes locked onto the empty whiskey bottles cluttering the table. Sister Xiaoying, why did you drink this much? Shen Yueyao whispered to Fu Chengyan, mocking my concerned tone and repeating Sister Xiaoying. Mo Xiaoying's glassy, drunken eyes locked onto me. Chen, you actually came. Give me a hug. I froze, Completely captivated by a vulnerable side of her I had never seen, I let her wrap her arms tight around my waist, her head resting against my chest. The three spectators behind us were absolutely stunned. Fu Qingyan muttered in disbelief, thinking our presence would actually hold her back. Who knew she would just completely fake being totally wasted? I looked down at her seaweed-like dark hair, utterly lost. I had no idea where to put my hands. Right then, her limp body started sliding down. I pleaded, "Sister Xuying, please sit up straight." She did not. Left with no choice, I reached out to hold her steady and glanced back at the three onlookers. I asked if they were going to help. The three of them instantly began playing dumb. They stammered that they did not know her at all. They were only sharing a table from next door. She hits anyone who touches her when she is drunk, so they could not help. Fu Qingyan did not even bother to reply. My fingers accidentally brushed against Mo Shuying's sensitive earlobe. I could only grumble secretly to myself. What kind of friends did she keep? Shuying squirmed uncomfortably against me, her arms tightening around my lower back. The three of them waved their hands. They exchanged a few knowing glances and stood up together. They muttered about having things to do. They were leaving, dumping Sister Shuying on me. I told them not to go. But the three of them bolted anyway. The heavy door slammed shut mercilessly. I stared at the woman clinging to my waist. "Sister Shuying, wake up," I pleaded. She did not react at all. Having no other option, I helped her up. I let her wrap her arms around my neck to keep her balance. Her head rested on my shoulder. I felt her warm, alcohol-scented breath. I felt like I was getting drunk, too. As my face grew hotter, I called Chen to pick us up. I simply scooped her up in a princess carry. I breathed a quiet sigh of relief. Good thing I work out often, so carrying her was no problem. Mo Shuying's grip on my neck tightened. She turned her head, hiding a sly grin, as I carried her out of the club. The driver waiting at the entrance rushed to help. He froze instantly when his young miss flashed him a deadly glare. He stood rooted to the spot. Quickly, he changed his mind and scrambled to open the car door instead. I settled Mo Shuying inside, muttering to myself. I had never even carried my own sister this way. The door clicked shut. I realized this was my chance to run, but as I tried to peel her hands from my neck, she opened her eyes. Her voice was incredibly soft and gentle. "Where are you going?" she asked, leaving me totally embarrassed. I stammered that I was hungry and wanted to grab food, but she protested that outside food is dirty. She suggested going home to let the kitchen cook instead. I had no choice but to resign myself and agree. Mo Shuying leaned against my shoulder and set a sandalwood box on my lap, immediately grabbing my attention. I opened the box, and my bad mood instantly vanished. "Is this really for me?" I asked. Mo Shuying gave a soft hum. I quickly thanked her, saying I loved it, thanking Sister Shuying politely. I had lost the bid for this black crystal last time and deeply regretted it. I never imagined it would actually end up in my hands. As long as you like it. My puppy likes his gift today, and tomorrow he will like me. Hearing Mo Shuying's clear, steady voice, I stared in disbelief. "Sister Shuying, are you actually sober now?" Realizing her mistake, Mo Shuying tried to cover. She claimed she was still dizzy and needed to lie down. I told her to rest, and she happily lay across my lap. She pretended to be completely drunk once again. Meanwhile, I kept admiring the stone. It looked incredible. The custom handmade necklace I wanted could finally be started. Just then, the woman on my lap shifted. Driven by a strange impulse, I reached out and touched her face. Shuying was truly stunning. Questioning my own actions, we arrived at the Mo estate, and I carried her up to her bed. But her arms remained locked around my neck. In a flash, she suddenly pulled me down toward her. I braced my weight on the mattress, kneeling beside her. "Shuying, let go," I begged, but her eyes stayed shut. Staring at her flushed face, I was completely helpless. Fortunately, a sudden knock on the door broke the tension. I quickly called for them to enter. Aunt Lu walked in with hangover soup, saw our position, and immediately spun around. I begged Aunt Lu not to leave, asking for help. Reluctantly, she walked over and set the soup on the nightstand. "Young Master Su, I have to trouble you to feed this hangover soup to the young miss." I begged Aunt Lu to make her let go first. But as Aunt Lu hesitated, she saw Mo Shuying wink at her. She realized the young miss was faking. "Young Master Su, how does our eldest miss look?" she asked. I was taken aback by the sudden question. "She is very beautiful, is she not? Look at this nose. Look at this little mouth. Are you not tempted? Don't you have any thoughts?" I followed her gaze to Mo Shuying beneath me and gulped. I would never dare, because my sister would kill me. If you don't say anything and I keep quiet, how will your sister ever know? Remember to help feed her the hangover soup. Then she left, even making sure to quietly close the door behind her. Are you serious right now? Like master, like servant. Neither of them is normal. I grinned and poked the woman's shoulder. Mo Shuying, if you don't let go of me, I'm going to take advantage of you. She still didn't move a single muscle. I don't think my silly puppy would actually do anything, she murmured, but if he's serious, I wouldn't mind. I stared at the unresponsive Mo Shuying, completely lost. What do I do now? I've never faced a crazy situation like this before. I should call my sister and ask. Just as I reached for my phone, the woman in my arms muttered that she was hot. With those words, she let go of me and actually started stripping off her clothes. Panicking, I grabbed the blanket to cover her and held down her restless little hands. Sister Shuying, please don't move around. I told her I would get the hangover soup. I don't know if she heard me, but she finally settled down. Seeing her so obedient and quiet made her seem like a completely different person. I grabbed the soup from the nightstand to test it. It wasn't hot anymore. I scooped up a spoonful and brought it to her mouth. Her lips parted slightly as she swallowed the warm soup. She even ran her tongue gently over the corner of her lips. My chest was pounding like crazy. I quickly finished feeding her and practically fled from Mo Shuying's room to save my own life. I completely missed the fact that the woman behind me had just opened her eyes. Mo Shuying glanced toward the security camera in the corner. She smiled. She was going to save this footage and watch it frame by frame. Her silly puppy was so sweet. I slept heavily that night. In my dreams, the two-sided Mo Shuying had me completely under her spell. Waking up the next morning, I couldn't shake the feeling for a long time. Over breakfast, I didn't even dare to look Mo Shuying in the eye. Just as we finished eating, Mo Shuying gently told me to come with her to the mall to buy some new clothes later. She said she tore her outfit from last night. But wait, didn't my sister mention that all their clothes are custom-made? Every new seasonal line is usually delivered straight to their mansion. Why would she need to go shopping herself? I wanted to see what she was up to, so I agreed to pay since I took her money. Besides, I didn't know what gift to get her anyway. Soon, we arrived at the mall and walked into a high-end women's clothing store. Spying a row of frilly Lolita dresses, a wave of mischief hit me. I grabbed a simple one and gently took her by the wrist. Sister Shuying, you look stunning in this. Try it on? Mo Shuying stared at the unfamiliar dress and asked if Chen really wanted to see her wear it. I told her I absolutely did. Sister Shuying, you will look absolutely gorgeous in this. You're going to turn so many heads. She hesitated for a moment, took the dress, and headed into the fitting room while I sat outside, snickering. I could already picture how hilarious it would look. I planned to snap some goofy photos when she stepped out. Meanwhile, Zhu Yi's friends spotted me from across the mall. They nudged Zhu Ye and pointed me out, asking if that was Su Chen. Hearing my name, Zhu Ye immediately looked over. The moment she realized it was actually me, she ran straight in my direction, but the guy she was with grabbed her arm, asking where she was going. She shook him off and rushed over to me anyway. Hearing the commotion, I turned around and spotted Zhu Yi. Talk about terrible luck, running into her of all people. Zhu Ye marched up and tried to pull me into a hug, but before I could dodge, someone else suddenly grabbed my arm. Mo Shuying's familiar perfume filled the air as she dared Zhu Ye to touch me. Zhu Ye stared at us, green with jealousy. Chen, is she really your girlfriend? We were together for so long and you never made us official. Yet it has only been a few days and you already have someone new. I snapped back, asking what business it was of hers. She pleaded that what happened last time was just a misunderstanding, but we saw the truth with our own eyes. It was disgusting. Zhu Yi stood there, utterly shocked. Chen, we have known each other for such a long time. You should know who I am. I would never flirt with anyone else. I genuinely thought that guy was you. Just then, her male companion from earlier caught up and stood beside her. She introduced him as her cousin, Nanqing Feng. Quite a family tree, I scoffed. She insisted they weren't like that, but I told her to stop explaining. It has nothing to do with me anymore. Can't you see I have someone else now? Let us just be strangers. Chen, I chased you for 3 months, and you ignored me. Now, after just a few days, some other woman is showing you off. We did not just hug, we kissed too. So what? I can be with whoever I want. I can hug whoever I want and kiss whoever I want. Mo Shuying reached her hand out and touched the exact spot I had just kissed. My scent still lingered there. Zhu Yi clutched her clothes tightly, clearly furious at this little show. Watching Zhu Yi squirm like that made me feel incredibly satisfied. Revenge. Finally. I looked down at her with absolute arrogance. A second later, someone grabbed my hand and spun me around. I stared blankly at the woman's captivating smile. Mo Shuying squeezed my hand. Ah, Chen, you kissed the wrong spot just now. Then, she leaned in and kissed my lips. I completely froze, staring back at her blankly. Mo Shuying just slowly licked her lips. Wrapping her arm around mine, she shot a freezing glance at the clueless Zhu Yi. Are you still not leaving? We won't be inviting you to our wedding. Zhu Yi was completely shattered. Beside her, Nan Chengfeng pulled her away. Let's go. Yi Yi, let's not interrupt their date. The scene quickly quieted down as Mo Shuiying looked up at me. Ah Chen, I snapped back to reality and shoved her away, standing there like a puppy with its hackles raised. How dare you take advantage of me? Who do you think you are? Mo Shuiying stumbled back from the push. She hit a quick flash of annoyance and looked up at me. You were the one who kissed me first, so what? Consider it your blessing that I kissed you. But you kissing me? Absolutely not allowed. Spoken like the spoiled young master raised by Su Yu, Mo Shuiying stepped forward and grabbed my hand. Ah Chen, I'm sorry. Okay, I was out of line. I honestly thought you wanted to kiss me, but were just too shy in front of everyone. That is why I took the initiative to do it myself. That made me even angrier. That was my first kiss. She just chuckled. Ah, Chen's first kiss is mine now. Fine, fine. I'll make it up to you. You can do whatever you want to me, just don't be mad anymore. Hearing that, my face lit up. Then, no matter what happens, you can't tattle to my sister. Okay, whatever you say. Hugging a silly puppy really does feel amazing. Mo Shuiying slowly let go of me. Ah Chen, how does this outfit look? She did a 360-degree twirl to show me. I glanced at it, quickly covering my mouth. It looks good, very pretty. It just clearly wasn't her style at all. Sister Shuiying, are you actually wearing this to work? To work? Mo Shuiying looked down at her clothes. Wearing this to work might not be appropriate, right? But I definitely have to listen to my hubby. I guess I'll wear it tomorrow. Sister Xuanying, let me take a few photos of you, just for the memories. Honestly, I just wanted to capture some ugly pictures of her. Mo Xuanying hated cameras, but there was no way she would refuse me. I snapped away like crazy. Total random chaos. I was aiming for the worst angles possible. Smile, Sister Xuanying. Just like that. In no time, I took 50 rapid shots and opened the gallery, ready to laugh at the bad ones. But she looked incredible. Even blurry. She was absolutely stunning. Turns out, when a person is just that gorgeous, they can make even a potato sack look incredibly stylish. Mo Shuiying leaned in close, drawing a dry laugh from me. She finally changed back into her regular clothes and returned the Lolita dress to the clerk. I trailed behind the employee to the front counter to pay. Mo Shuiying didn't stop me from paying. She just turned on her heel and headed straight toward menswear. I grabbed the bags and spun around only to find she was gone. Did she actually ditch me? Before I could panic, the clerk pointed toward the back. Sir, your girlfriend is over in the menswear section. I rolled my eyes. This clerk had absolutely zero situational awareness. What girlfriend? I marched over and found her holding a shirt that perfectly matched the dress I just picked for her. The moment I stepped up, she held the shirt against me to check the fit. I shot her a sharp look. What are you doing, Mo Shuiying? Her red lips curled into a smile. Buying new clothes. Ah Chen bought me a dress, so I'm buying him a shirt. They match, so they can be our couple's outfits. I shook my head. No need. I'm not buying it. Oh, Ah Chen, it's just basic courtesy. You bought me one, so I should buy you one too. I protested. No need. You've already given me enough stuff. I've only been staying here for a couple of days, and she's already wired me money, handed me a luxury watch, bought me gemstones, and now she wants to buy me clothes. She literally showers me with gifts more often than my own parents do. Does she just have way too much cash and absolutely nowhere to spend it? Meanwhile, Mo Shuiying handed the shirt to the sales clerk. She pulled out her phone and got her payment code ready. Sister Shuiying, do you seriously just have way too much cash? Mo Shuiying smiled. Your sister told me to take good care of you, I promised her, so I have to go through with this. I am more than willing to spend the money on you. It is fine. Handsome couples exchange gifts all the time. This gorgeous lady loves you so much. If you refuse, your girlfriend is going to be miserable. Know which eye of yours sees us as the sales associate cut in, grabbing Mo Shuiying's phone. All right, Chen, see if there is anything else you like. Just a few steps away, 3 people watched the scene unfold. Yi, it is no use. Just give up. That young Master Su is impossible to win over. Every single time we see him, he is just so arrogant and untamed. That is because Chen and I are only a rented couple. Last time, I must have just missed him too much. That is why I mistook Lu Qingyuan for Chen. Otherwise, we would definitely be together by now. There is no way I am just handing Chen over to someone else. After paying the bill, I checked a text from my buddy. I asked Sister Shuiying if she should be heading back to her company for work now. She glanced at her watch. It is 11:30. Time for lunch. No rush. I booked a restaurant, so we are eating out today. But I already made plans with a friend. Hearing that, the soft smile on Mo Shuiying's face faded. After a long pause, she asked with a hint of sadness if I was not planning to bring her along. I politely declined. The main thing is you do not know each other. It would be pretty awkward. But she replied that she did not mind. Hearing her shameless response, I reluctantly ditched my buddy and followed her to the high-end Western restaurant she had booked. Walking into the lobby, I spotted several familiar faces immediately. Embarrassed, I used the shopping bag to cover my face. Save me. When she asked what was wrong, I shook my head, signaling that I was totally fine. But then I spotted another acquaintance. I spun around and bolted without a single second of hesitation. Mo Xiang chased after me immediately. I walked all the way out of the restaurant before finally putting the shopping bag down. I told Sister Xiang I did not really want Western food, so let us go somewhere else. She respected my decision. So, we switched to a Chinese restaurant. After ordering, the dishes were brought to the table one by one. She picked up a piece of shrimp and placed it in my bowl, acting like it was just casual conversation. She mentioned that Western restaurant is the one I usually love the most. My hand paused as I reached for a tissue. Her gaze was no longer innocent. She told me to eat slowly because it was hot. My brain short-circuited. Something was wrong. Her behavior was completely off. This did not seem like an older sister caring for her younger brother. Could she be trying to seduce me, make me fall for her, and then ruthlessly dump me to get revenge on the Su family? Yeah, that is the only explanation. I slammed my chopsticks down, and she asked what was wrong. Mo Xiang was completely confused. I stood up, without saying a single word, shot her a fierce glare, and turned to leave. Mo Xiang was left stunned, having no idea what had just happened. By the time she reacted and chased me to the door, I was already long gone. I had vanished into thin air. She tried calling me on voice chat, but I blocked her immediately. My hands moved as fast as lightning. Mo Xiang dialed a number she had never called before. A Chen. I do not know what I did wrong to make you mad. I apologize. Please do not run off on your own, okay? I frowned slightly. What was up with Mo Xiang's tone? I told her I did not want to eat and was heading to her family estate. I was not running off. But the moment I stepped out of the taxi, her Maybach pulled up smoothly right beside me. Seeing her, my first instinct was to dodge. That reaction struck a nerve with Mo Xiang, and she stepped up to grab my arm. She asked why I ran off when we were having a perfectly good meal. I just muttered, nothing. I just suddenly did not feel like eating. She threatened to call my sister since I was not listening. I snapped back. How could she go back on her word? Mo Xiang's gaze turned cold. Trying to run away again? She had already seen right through me. She reminded me my sister was not home, so she had to keep me in line. I raised a finger and warned her not to force me to tear the house apart. She told me to go ahead. The bill would definitely end up right on my sister's desk anyway. I was fuming with rage, but in Mo Xiang's eyes, I was just an angry little puppy. Her calm demeanor only made me angrier out of sheer humiliation. So, I raised my arm, hooked it around her shoulder, and blew a soft breath right into her ear. With a soft, alluring voice, I put on a playful smirk. Sister Xiang, do you have some ulterior motive with me? Mo Xiang's delicate body trembled, and she stayed silent. I told her I would take that as a yes. She wanted to admit her feelings, but feared scaring me away. Sister Xiang, do you think I am handsome? She replied that a Chen is indeed the most handsome. Then does Sister Xiang like me? Mo Xiang did not hesitate at all, replying that she liked me. Then, Sister Xiang, can you stop tattling to my sister all the time? She lowered her eyelids and said no. I decisively let go, done playing. I turned away with a blank face and headed upstairs. Mo Xiang stared after me, hand pressed to her chest. My heart was pounding. I went to my room and thrashed my pillow in anger. Sister Xiang is a total liar who broke her promise, and the worst part is, I can't do a thing about it. I collapsed onto the edge of the bed with my head spinning. Sister Yoon claimed Mo Xiang likes me, but something still felt completely wrong. She is my sister's bitter rival. Why would she suddenly treat me like royalty, taking me in and throwing money at me? Where on earth do you find a sworn enemy who acts this kind? While I was trying to figure it out, a soft knock came from the door. It was Mo Xiang, calling for me to open up. Her voice was flat, totally stripped of her usual warmth. I gritted my teeth and ignored her. I was done talking to her, especially since she loved playing mind games with me. The knocking faded. I let out a quick sigh of relief, thinking she had finally left. Then the doorknob clicked and swung open. She actually had a key to my room. I whipped my head around to glare at her. I barked at her to get out, but Mo Xiang silently closed the door, her heels clicking as she slowly approached me. Her eyes were freezing cold, without a hint of warmth. She asked if I was still mad, her voice flat and devoid of any emotion. I looked away and snapped that it was none of her business. Surprisingly, she did not even react to my hostility. Instead, she sat right down on the carpet in front of me, staring up. The submissive pose made me feel incredibly uneasy. Before I could turn away, she softly asked if I really thought she was only being nice to me because she liked me. My heart skipped a beat. I quickly shot back, asking who would ever think that, insisting I definitely did not. But even as I denied it, my ears burned with embarrassment. Mo Shang just let out a soft, amused chuckle. That laugh had no warmth. She murmured that it seemed I had grown quite used to her kindness and might even be a little dependent on her now. She asked if she was right, her words cutting straight to my most hidden thoughts. Honestly, I had to admit she had pampered me completely during my stay at the Mo estate. I had grown accustomed to her nagging, her blatant favoritism, and just having her around. But I desperately refused to admit those feelings. Angry, I snapped that she was talking nonsense since I was only staying temporarily and would leave the second my sister returned. I tried to sound stubborn and defensive, but my voice lacked any real confidence. Mo Shang stared at me, her gaze turning ice cold. She told me I could never leave, because once I stepped inside this estate, escape was impossible. Pure panic hit me. I demanded to know what she meant, but she stayed quiet. Instead, she slowly raised her hand, her freezing fingertips lightly tracing the line of my cheek. I shuddered violently at her touch and tried to pull back, but she firmly gripped my chin. Looking into her face from inches away, I finally realized what was buried deep inside her eyes. Behind that sweet, gentle mask lurked a dark, obsessive hatred. There was absolutely no trace of love in her. This was not how you look at someone you adore. She was staring at me like a predator watching trapped prey. She whispered that her kindness was never born from affection, and it definitely was not out of love. I was never her goal. Instead, she claimed my family owed her, and had for 10 long years. She spat that 10 years ago, my family destroyed the person she loved most, and now we owed her a life. A debt from 10 years ago? My sister never mentioned any of this. Our family always had smooth sailing. How could we owe her a life? I stammered that I had no idea what she was talking about. Mo Xiang mocked me, saying my doting sister would never admit what they did back then to protect their own interests. She asked if I knew how many dirty crimes my family committed, or that our success was built entirely on the corpses of those she loved. Her cold words cut deep, stabbing like sharp knives directly into my heart. I stared at her blankly, unable to believe that this incredibly gentle woman had harbored such a deep, toxic hatred all this time. So, getting close to me and treating me so well was all just a fake. Releasing my chin, she stood up and looked down with cold indifference, murmuring that it was both fake and real. She admitted she never expected my sister to deliver me right to her doorstep like this. All the warmth, the pampering, and the sweet smiles were totally fake. She never loved me at all. She hated my family. And me. I had fallen completely for her illusion, foolishly developing feelings and relying on her while my voice choked up with tears. You are so cruel. Mo Shuing watched me trying to act tough, but there was not a single shred of pity in her eyes. There was only a cold sense of relief, as if she had finally waited for this day. It was like she was staring at an unfinished painting completely devoid of warmth or emotion. She scoffed that compared to what my Su family did to her, her little tricks were nothing. Back then, you destroyed every single thing I had. I did not even have the right to cry. Now, I am just letting you taste the exact same suffering. The timing is just about perfect. You cannot leave me anymore, can you? I ground my teeth so hard they clicked. If you hate the Su family, then just come at me. Stop with these twisted mind games. Come after you? That would be letting your Su family off way too easily. I never wanted your life. Aren't you afraid I will tell my sister? You won't because you already love me. You can't bear to lose me, right? I had to admit she was absolutely right. I really had fallen in love with her. I loved a woman whose entire heart was consumed by pure hatred. A woman who wanted to destroy me. How completely ridiculous. What do you even want? She said it was simple. Starting today, if you behave, I will treat you a little better. If you disobey, I will slowly strip away everything you care about until I have had enough. Su Chen, do not even think about fighting back. You cannot afford to. The more you fight back, the more I will make everyone around you suffer. Starting tomorrow, no more tantrums, no more smashing things, and no more leaving. Just stay obediently by my side, and I will make your life a little more comfortable. With that, she turned and headed for the door. At the threshold, she stopped without looking back, tossing out one final warning: don't expect your sister to save you. She can barely even save herself right now. The door clicked shut. Outside the window, the night grew darker. Pale moonlight filtered through the curtains. I stared at the closed door. From now on, the name Mo Shuing would no longer mean warmth and safety. It only meant hatred and raw pain. This was my inescapable reality. I clenched my fists. The pain brought a little clarity. I could not just accept this fate. I had to uncover the whole truth, especially what happened 10 years ago. I had to find out what she planned to do to the Su family next. My phone buzzed. An anonymous text message flashed on the screen. Is her revenge only aimed at the Sue family? Someone more terrifying is behind her. Watch out for everyone around you, especially the person you trust the most. The person I trust most is it my sister, Sister Yeon, or someone else entirely? That text came exactly 1 minute after Mo Shuing left. Who sent it? How could anyone know so much? Was it my junior at school, or maybe my roommate? I gripped my phone as my heart hammered wildly. Cold sweat broke out across my back. I finally realized that this twisted game was only just beginning.